Hello and welcome. This is Hena Talati and you are watching It's Tomorrow News. 8 more persons lost their lives in devastating flood in Assam on Monday, while over 21 lakh people continue to remain in distress under the impact of deluge, officials said. The death count due to the flood this year mounted to 134 with the 8 deaths reported during the day, which include 5 from Cachar district and 1 from the Kamrup Metro, Morigaon and Nagaon, they said. One person was also reported missing in Cachar district according to a bulletin of the Assam State Disaster Management Authority. There was, however, some improvement in the flood situation, with the total affected population declining to 21.52 lakhs in 22 districts as against the previous day's 22.21 lakhs in 28 districts. Most of the rivers showed a receding trend, though the Kopili at the Nagaon, Barak at Cachar and Karimganj and Kushiara in Karimganj were flowing above the danger level, the officials said. The Silchar town, which has been submerged over a week, efforts are underway to provide relief in those areas where the administration is yet to reach by the airdropping packets with the food, drinking water bottles and other essentials by the Indian Air Force helicopters. Unnamed aerial vehicles are also engaged in preparing a flood map in Silchar town as to identify the extent of damage and help to taking measures to mitigate losses in future, Cachar Deputy Department said. The District Disaster Management Authority, UNICEF and Oxfam have set up a boat-mounted water treatment units to cater to the needy within the Silchar and its peripheral areas. The ASDMA bulletin said 2,254 villages under 61 revenue circles remain affected by current wave of floods across the state, while 191,194 people have taken shelter in 538 relief camps. Flood waters have damaged 79 roads and 5 bridges, even as 6 embankments were breached, it said. The combination of La Nina in the Pacific and negative Indian Ocean dipole in the Indian Ocean has strengthened the winds blowing from the southwest to northeast in the Bay of Bengal. These strong monsoon winds in the Bay of Bengal can now carry much more moisture than ever before in response to the global warming. The volume of atmospheric moisture increases with the rising temperatures because warmer air holds more moisture and for longer. Hence, the large amount of rainfall that we see now might be climate change impact. These winds dumping rains over the Bangladesh and northeast India have been exceptionally strong for a week now, and scientists added. The Brahmaputra Valley that encompasses the northeast part of India witnesses flood almost every year, leaving behind the trail of death and destructions. Even before the onset of the monsoon in Assam this year, incessant rain over the past week had wreaked havoc, with much of the Assam submerged, crops destroyed and lakhs displaced. So far, Assam has recorded an excess rainfall of 109% in June. As per the Meteorological Department, the state has witnessed 528.5 millimeters of actual rainfall against the normal of 252.8 millimeters. Heavy rain has triggered landslides in Cachar, Dima Hasao, Golpara, Halikandi, Kamrup and Karimganj districts, throwing normal life out of gear. Road and rail services remain disrupted in several parts of the state. Food and potable water is not easily available. Roads and bridges have suffered serious damage. Floods have been way of the life for the people living in Assam. For centuries, the southwest monsoon has been followed by the floods in low-lying areas in Assam, which is why it is referred to as flood plains. People once waited for the floods as a mineral-rich water would replenish the fertility of their land, and the Brahmaputra is also critical to the Kaziranga National Park as it is bound by the river on one side. In recent years, however, the extent of devastation due to the floods have increased significantly. Assam, situated at the foothills of the Himalayas, comprises two valleys, Brahmaputra and Barak, named after the respective rivers, and two hill districts, along with the huge network of over 20 large rivers and 50 tributaries. The mighty Brahmaputra River originates from the Himalayas and enters India through Arunachal Pradesh before flowing into the Bay of Bengal. It flows through Assam over the length of around 650 kilometers with an average width of 5.46 kilometers, making it the principal river that crisscrosses the floodplains. Coming from the Kailash range at an elevation of over 5,000 meters, the river gets highly sedimented by the time it enters Assam. An average slope of about 2.82 meters per kilometers comes down to about 0.1 meters per kilometers. Due to this flattening of the slope, there is a sudden drop in the velocity and the river deposits huge quantities of sediment and other debris collected from the hilly terrains on the riverbed, raising its levels. During the summers, the sedimentation increases as the soil erodes with the melting of the glaciers. Multiple research papers have noted the high level of sedimentation of the Brahmaputra raise the levels of the river and reduce its water carrying capacity. Additionally, the monsoon is intense in northeast. According to the State Disaster Management Authority, annual rainfall averages around 2900 millimeters with the maximum precipitation in June and July. The Water Resources Ministry of Assam states that 85% of the annual rainfall in the Brahmaputra basin takes place during the monsoon months. Besides, the valley gets good amount of rainfall in April and May due to the thunderstorm activities, which account for flood during the heavy rain in June when the soil is already saturated. During monsoon, highly sedimented river water from the Himalaya combines with the rain-fed water bodies in India, resulting in water spilling over the land in the narrow valleys, leading to floods. Another notable factor is that Assam lies in the seismically active zone. An increase in construction activities in the recent area has resulted in frequent landslides. Earthquakes and landslides also push sediments and debris in the rivers, which further raise the riverbed and increase the risk of the floods. As sedimented rivers move through the state along with their tributaries, they take with them the soil and sediment from the banks. Soil erodes and river expand as it gets more area. This results in flooding. This erosion of the land alongside the rivers have emerged as a serious problem from Assam, a major cause for the internal displacement of people due to the disappearance of the villages. The width of Brahmaputra has increased up to 15 kilometers due to the bank erosion at some places in Assam. Climate change is said to lead to more frequent and severe floods in Assam as per the report on climate change by the state government. The report adds that the extreme rainfall events will increase by 38%. Heavy rainfall replacing continuous low and normal rainfall during the monsoon, combined with the melting of glaciers due to the rising temperatures, will mean that rivers from the Himalayas will be carrying more water and sediments even before they enter Assam, where smaller rivers are swelled up due to the incessant rainfall. This increases the possibility of frequent flash floods in low-lying areas. That's all for now. For more news updates, stay tuned with us. It's Tomorrow News. For more global weather updates like this, subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon for regular updates.